Hodas dagas alamai, Theodoric sprekans. Chino dago, usokios samana, brunan namno apthiudisca mai haujamas.
Scalvaitio is visunia mathlon ab haujio namo, auk hebo veras kinliko namo furii in thiudiscaisoi. I was chaito that alda tungo nusva, thiudisco. Iabai vilis vitenachvas furi, usech anthiraimas sechumas minas tricans anchlankians ilmi. Furistas binuegas gertia jan Niderlandamas. When talking about the Netherlands today, we refer to this small country at the Rhine's delta, populated with friendly, honest, stingy caravan-towing people invading southern France every summer. But geographically and historically, the area called the Netherlands covers a far larger portion of the westernmost part of the North European plain. In order to avoid confusion, the convention is to refer to this region as the Low Countries. Etymologically speaking, Netherlands comes from Theodisco Nitherlando, meaning exactly the Low Countries. Nitherlando also contains the entirety of Flemish-speaking Belgium, the French part of Flanders we call the Westhoek, Artois, Hainaut, Cambrai, Brussels, the rest of Wallonia, this little part of France, and the country of Luxembourg. The only time in history all of this area had been part of the same political entity was during the reigns of Karilas Storas and his son Chludaviga Chodorowo. It came close to being a new unified political entity during Koningadomas Einagidas Nederlando in the 19th century, but the French parts were not unified. Let's now focus on each specific region. Luxembourg, Lutilaburgas, the little fortified city.
Liège, Liudicas. Although being a Wallonian town, its name is fully Germanic and comes from Theodisco Liudis, meaning a man or a person. This city's name in Latin is Leodicum, in Dutch Luik, and in German Lüttich, all with a K ending, which might come from the diminutive suffix icas, Liudicas, the small man. Henegouwen or Innu, Gaginogouwen. From Theodisco gago, meaning pasture, the suffix ino indicates that something is made out of. In this case, the land is made out of pastures. The latter part of the name Gouwen, meaning region. Gaginogouwen. Artois, name of a Celtic tribe, Atrebates, meaning something like in the village. Its Theodiscama exact cognate would be at Thurpodas, with at meaning near or in, Thurp, stem word of Thurpa, meaning village, and the suffix odas, indicating possession of something. Flanders, Vlaanderen, waterlogged land. More precisely, that which is waterlogged. Westragocas, where some people still speak Flemish today, although being in France. Few people know this, and even the people living in the neighboring area don't know it. Two major cities in Vlaanderen. Lille, Thauio, contraction of that, and Auio, meaning island. Bruges, Brugio, meaning bridge. Brabant. The first part of the name is not clear, but probably comes from Theodisco word brekena, which means to break, but also would have meant fallow. Another possibility is the word bracon, meaning bush. Anyway, in Theodisco, Bracobanto. Brussels, Broxali. This is the furthest back in time this city's name can go for certain, as this would be its Proto-West Germanic name. It means the dwelling in the swamp, which is the most generally accepted etymology of this city's name. The word brok, though, cannot be traced back to Theodisco. There are 5 words for swamp in Theodisco: Fania, Strodus, Sika, Sumpas, and Swamas. Those latter 2 words also mean mushroom. So you could make Brussels' name with the stem of any of those words. Let me know in the comments which one you'd prefer. Zeeland, Zeewilanda, the land of the sea. Middelburg, Middelburgas, the fortified city in the middle. Limburg, Lindoburgas, the fortified city with a linden tree. Maastricht. This name comes from a Latin name, Mose Trajectum, meaning crossing over the Meuse. A proper calque would be Maso ubirifardi, Hasselt, Gazlas, referring to the hazel tree, and Odas indicating possession, thus Gaslodas. Betuwe, Bataoyo, the good island, good fallow, or good meadow. This is the exact same Theodisco word referring to the Batavians, this Germanic tribe living in that exact area during Roman times. Veluwe, Falloaoyo, meaning the fallow or grey meadow, or the grey island, which might have been to highlight a contrast with the Betuwe. Utrecht, Utai simply means outside. We have the same trecht again, indicating a crossing. Utai ubirifardi. Overijssel, behind the IJssel, which is a river. The name IJssel itself is a fully Latin name. The prefix "i" is an alternate of "in", which means after, from Proto-Indo-European "enu", which means behind, after, or above. Sala is the Latin name of the river, so IJssel means behind the river Sala. Overijssel would then be a tautological place name, meaning behind the river Sala. If I would create a proper Theodisco name for this area, I would choose Ubiri Salai, over the Sala. Drenthe. The oldest mention of this province's name is Thrente in Old Dutch. The two first letters of this word refer to the word Fries, three. The latter part is a pretty much unknown name. Friesland, Friesaslanda, the land of the Frisians, ultimately the land of the curly-haired. You already heard this name in my last song. Holland, Gultalanda, the woodland. Amsterdam. Its name means the dam over the river Amstel. When we take a look at the origin of the river Amstel's name, things become uncertain. It is sometimes suggested that the stelle part supposedly means place or location in Old or Middle Dutch. I have been unable to find any evidence for any further reconstruction. For the sake of this video, I will attempt to reconstruct it fully for you today. Keep in mind that what follows is pure conjecture. The closest noun I could find meaning place in Proto-West Germanic is the word stal. This word comes from Theodisco stallas. The first part of the name Amsterdam, am, comes from Proto-West Germanic achu, which means river. It's confusing because of that M sound, which seems to come out of nowhere. But remember the inflection tables. To indicate location, Theodisco and all of its daughter languages uses the dative. The dative plural of achu is achum. In Old English, achum had become ea, and the dative plural of this word was eam. We know Old Dutch cognate was a, and its dative inflection might easily have been am. But unfortunately, Old Dutch inflection tables are very rare. Am would thus probably have meant on the rivers. Reconstructing it further back in time to Theodisco, it would give us achuamas. Another possibility involves the instrumental case, which in Proto-West Germanic follows the exact same pattern I just described for the dative case. Both cases already had merged together by that time. Am could have just easily have meant with the rivers, and in Theodisco, achuamis. So here we have it. Amsterdam's name would be Achuamas Talai Damas, and would mean the dam in the place on the rivers, or Achuamis Talai Damas, which would mean the dam in the place with the rivers, which sounds more convincing. Thank you for watching.